saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it. There's nothing to you otherwise.
Welcome to the Dangerous Man Podcast, where we talk about how to become a better man, take responsibility for our mission, create value for others, and the many failures and lessons we've learned along the way. Stay dangerous.
Welcome to the Dangerous Man. I am your host, Adam Thooft, joined by co-host
John Kostohris.
What's up, John?
Good morning, America.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I used to have this app on my phone. And this was like freshman year in high school, and we had this app on our phone that had a little buttons. It was, and you'd press the little button, and it would trigger a different sound or
It was like
quote or lightsaber.
It was like a soundboard.
It was.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, me and Jimmy, who you guys will probably meet later on, some of our friend group there, we just used the heck out of it. One of them was like, you'd press it, "Good morning, Vietnam," and then we just like spam it while we were playing pool or something stupid. But
Or it's like an air horn.
Oh yeah, yeah. My favorite was a lightsaber where you would and I remember you could export the sounds. And so I did that, and I put it onto my phone. It was like a little, I don't know, cheap Android smartphone at the time. Smartphones were still kind of new. This was probably, 6, 7, oh, no, definitely longer than that. 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, so like 2012.
I forget I'm 25 sometimes. Anyways, and I use it as my text tone.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone sent me a text, it'd go, and then everyone's like, like their face was like, that? Whoa. yeah. Pretty sure I made someone like crap their pants once. They're just like, oh.
Is this a man about to use the force?
Hey, you should have seen me junior year in high school. Pretty sure I had the force when I never mind. We don't talk about that.
That's hilarious.
Block that from my memory.
I might know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
But anyway,
good morning, guys.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening, good 3 a.m. Whenever you're listening to this, you know.
Yeah, if you're doing a 3 a.m. challenge while you're listening to this, and welcome.
Yes.
To probably like the 4 people that are doing that. I don't know. Our listening base might be pretty high in that category.
Is that a thing? A 3 a.m. challenge?
I don't know. I feel like there was like a meme about it that I remember there being like 3 a.m. challenge gonna do like, because it's just like the 3 a.m. is like basically like the like you don't know if it's an early or a late. It's kind of like
right.
Like a lot of people stay up till midnight, but 3 a.m. is like
I should probably get to bed.
Yeah, 3 a.m. is probably like the deadest time of night where nothing's happening.
Yeah. Is it night? Is it morning? Who really knows? Technically morning.
Yeah, I think it's technically morning, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually kind of had that joke with a friend that's actually from out in New Jersey. He's like, it's like, you want to do a 3 a.m. challenge with me? And you're going to wear sunglasses the whole time. And I'm like, not really, but okay. But we just kind of joke about it. It's like 3 a.m. challenge.
And people just look at you like, what is their problem?
Yeah.
You know? It's kind of like when Adam and I we went on a walk the other day for his 75 hard. He has to do 2 continuous 45-minute workouts. And
John joined me for it so we could talk and stuff.
Yeah. And
have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we crossed this really busy street in kind of in the St. Paul area where we're from. And there's some cars starting to come, and it's like a huge street. Anyways, we start hobbling and like dragging our like,
my leg's broken.
The cars are coming. Let's go. It's like we're like they're hobbling and hopping and like in the street, and then we made it to the edge, and we're like, these drivers are probably like, what the? Because we just kind of jaywalked in.
What the hell is happening?
I feel like that's kind of what I think of when I hear 3 a.m. challenge. This is like, who is that guy doing that? What? Like,
but we're really just goofing off with friends.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
highly recommend. But
Mhm.
another thing I would highly recommend is to find some good friends.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I think about like some friends that I have where it's just like you do like the goofy stuff where it's like
Yeah.
it's late at night and we're gonna pretend to be our legs are broken in the middle of the street when there's oncoming traffic because
It's like 11:30
we're
p.m.
just trying to be weird.
You just gotta have some like I don't know. You gotta go out and find joy and happiness. You gotta.
Yeah.
You can't just be a stale Lego all the time. You know what I mean?
I must be the.
You gotta loosen up a little bit and do some fun. You gotta be willing to like sing a song in the middle of Mall of America on the escalator and like do the stretching pose from Elf. You know what I mean? On the escalator. You've seen the movie Elf when
I've seen the movie Elf once.
basically
I don't know if I remember that part.
step up like 3 steps. Well, because you're tall, Adam, probably step up like 6 steps with one foot on, one way up
so
top.
you're
and
like
you're stretching and like leaning into your knee in front. And
sounds like we should go do this.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Just
People
go-
look at you like
go
you're
to the
weird
mall and you're singing a song and I'm stretching.
We are titling this podcast "How to Have Confidence." Do stupid things at Mall of America and pretend that you're the man and nobody sees you and you don't give a shit.
Yeah, Mall of America is just kind of the absolute massive mall we have here in Minnesota. So
Yeah.
it's like 500 stores or something like that with a theme park in the middle.
4 stories,
crazy.
3 stories. People go there in the winter just to walk, get
Yeah.
their steps in.
It's like online shopping in real life.
Yeah. Yep. Basically anything on the internet you can find there,
Yeah.
for better or for worse. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Um,
Yikes.
but anyway, there's a lot of
Anyway.
different things on friendship. And John, you had kind of an excerpt that you're kind of reflecting on friendship.
hmm
Correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you people were listening last week to our podcast, it was episode 53, I think we were on last week. And at the very end, I kind of go off sharing about that we have one of the things that keeps us back from stagnation and from hitting the walls that we hit in life of wanting to move into grow and to become who we want to be and the goals that we have. One of the things is having good friends in your life that can be the encouragement and can be the genuine push and to grow and they can do it with you side by side. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today is like, okay, the next logical question then is like the first one was like, how do I break through stagnation? And honestly, we kind of proposed, let's do it with some brothers. Let's do it together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more we talked about in the podcast that you can go back and review. But I think that was like a big takeaway but it's also like kind of a vague, like, okay, I just do it together, but do what together? And like with who? And like, I think the next logical question is like, I guess, how do I find these friends or who in my life might be somebody that could be that for me? Maybe. And I think that's what we wanted to touch on more today.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of we were talking about on the last episode, having good friends to help you through the struggles and through like specifically personal growth stasis. Last episode, if you want to know more about that, listen to the last episode. But so I believe there are different types of friendships, and we really want the type of friendship where there are where you have those friends that do help you through those struggle times.
Like when your leg is pretend broken and you're trying to cross the street.
I mean, that's just more goofing off, really. But like when you're actually having like an actual struggle, but also it helps that those friends can also goof off with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess I'll take it away here.
Yeah.
Something that I've been reading about. Adam, you'll have to help me remember this, but this is Aristotle, who was a Greek philosopher back in around. He lived for a few years.
Yeah,
a couple
just
years.
a couple years,
Yeah,
here and there.
He was just a baby, literally lived 2 years and was like a great philosopher.
He's like a boss baby, but like on a whole nother level.
But wearing a toga.
No, but he lived in around 350 BC.
Yep.
So about I don't know, pretty close to 2,400 years ago. But the fact that a lot of his stuff still stands today gives kind of a testament to how good it is.
Many philosophers build build upon Aristotle.
Yeah.
For a lot of what they came up in philosophy. So
Yeah.
pretty foundational guy.
He's kind of like one of the fathers of philosophy in a way.
One of the goats.
Yeah.
Straight up. And but he talks about, I think it was Nico McKeon.
Nico
McKeon Ethics is a book he wrote about 350 BC. And he talks about a few things. Just a couple things. A lot of things.
A lot of things.
Ethics and things and who's Nico McKeon. And I don't, let's just make this simple. He wrote a book.
And who's he keying? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, the guy talked about, he thought. He used his mind and he thought, right? This is a theme we've been talking about is we want to, as men, we want to become thought leaders and we want to develop our brain and our minds. We can go work out in the gym, our bodies, healthy food, sleep, care for our bodies, but we also need to be doing this for our minds too.
Yes.
And philosophy is kind of a cool way to, I guess, do some of that, but at least it helps you think very logically and well. So, but on that note, he talks about friendship and specifically 3 types of friendship. And so I think the question there is, I guess, what is friendship that we might be thinking about? And I'm not going to get super ethereal here. I'm literally just going to lay out the 3 types of friendship that he defines. And this is kind of like the foundation of what a friendship could take 3 forms, essentially, is what he's saying. So maybe we say the 3 forms of friendship, and so one of them is utility-based friendships. What is utility, John? Well, let me find here the story.
So I put a friend on my utility belt, and then they're a utility friend.
Exactly.
So that basically, if I'm Batman and they're Batarang,
they're just
then that's the friendship.
Yeah, right. They're not even my Batman and Robin. They're like literally my boomerang, my Batarang. Imagine Adam and I are friends, and I'm like. He's like, I'm your sidekick. I'm like, no, I'm going to take you and throw you with this guy.
It's like, actually, you go on my belt.
Yeah. But so there's a few things I want to go through. One is the 3 forms, and I'll just lay them out real quick. We'll go into them, I promise. You don't have to remember the names right away. It is utility-based friendship. You have what he calls a pleasant friendship. So you can think of pleasure or fun. And then what he refers to as virtuous friendship. And so I'll define kind of 3 of these and give some stories here real quick. But before I get into that, let's just talk about something called utilitarianism. Utilitarian as in utility, as in usefulness, as in using. And so this is kind of a principle that we see a lot today in today's, I guess, in America and culture and in our world. But I just touch on it very briefly. It's like basically this is not Aristotle himself. This is somebody reflecting on some of this stuff, but I just thought they worded it really good. But basically, like when we look at relationships and friendships through a lens of utility, this is what we do. Kind of in this view, the best human actions are those that are most useful. So this is like a belief system you could have, right? That somebody's actions are the ones that are most useful. And something is only useful insofar as it maximizes 2 things, pleasure and comfort. And not only does it maximize pleasure and comfort, but it minimizes pain and discomfort. So kind of 2 ends moving away from themselves, moving, airplane going up towards, pleasure and comfort, and maybe dropping some of its baggage of pain and discomfort, trying to get away from that, right? And so, but anyways, what does that kind of mean, I guess? And this is the idea that I look at things as is this hammer useful for me? Do I even use hammers? If not, let's get rid of it. Or like, I just don't care about this hammer. But if I do, then, and hammer's not a great example, but and we can do this with our friends where it's like, oh, like as long as, let me get into this here. This story as long as this person's important to me, I keep them around. And so his kind of story here, let's see if I can find it in this book. Okay, so
the books,
the pages and the words.
Yes, I like books.
Okay, first in a friendship of utility. In this, the benefit here, it's based on the benefit or use, like using of friends, and that's the foundation. That's what makes the friendship is that you are useful to each other. You are, and so a couple examples or a story there would be. Two friends, this is a lot of work-related friendships fall into this category, okay, of utility-based. And so it's this. Let's say Bob owns a construction company in Boston, right? And he has a friendship with a guy named Sam. Probably, I just made me think of Walmart, but he's not from San Francisco. Anyways, Bob has a friend that's called Sam who lives in San Francisco. And Sam, the guy in San Francisco, sells a specific kind of nails, and Bob uses them for his like roofing business. Right?
Oh.
And he got and Sam sells them to Bob at the best price, and so they get into business together, right? And Bob starts buying from Sam. So for their business, I guess exchanges, right, or the purchases that Bob is making from Sam, they maybe see each other a couple times a year, maybe talk on the phone about once a week. Maybe they're emailing each other regularly, right? Related to nails and orders that they're trying to get and whatever, I need this many for this project. Okay. Very work related kind of things. But over the years of doing business together, they kind of learned about each other's careers, maybe, and ask about, families, exchanging Christmas cards, emails, whatever, each other's interests even, they kind of get to know each other a little bit, forming a friendship, right? Forming a little friendship there, Bob and Sam.
Sam and Bob are friends.
And kind of, they get along well and sincerely with one another, and they really wish each other the best in life, right? Because they have these really good, I guess you could say, like a positive energy towards each other, and they get along. And they are friends. This is a type of friendship, right? But what unites them, I guess, in this particular benefit is the particular benefit that they get from each other, right? Which is nails for Bob and sales for Sam, right? They have a benefit from each other's friendship. And them becoming better friends kind of helps both of them in their businesses, right? So that's the first type of friendship is a utility, right? And we could apply this to way more deeper scenarios we could get into later, perhaps. But the big idea there is that somebody is useful to me, or there's some benefit that comes from me being a friend with them, and that's why we're friends. That's what kind of keeps us together. And I'll get into the second type of friendship, and then I'll have a little bit of a thought there. But the second type is called, Aristotle defines as pleasant friendship. And so what does that mean? Kind of the basis of the friendship is that one friend maybe gets pleasure out of the relationship, maybe gets fun out of the relationship, right? So, this friendship is really about having fun together, okay? They are friends, right? They may listen to the same music. Maybe you play the same sport as somebody. You enjoy the same kinds of exercise. Maybe it's hiking, fishing. Maybe you are a basketball team together and you travel together on basketball travel team. So maybe
you enjoy goofing off and doing 3 a.m. challenges.
Exactly. Yeah, having fun and So live in the same dorm as somebody, right? Go to the same nightclub, whatever it is. And the two people, they might really, be sincere in caring about one another, and wish each other well in life even. But what really, again, the foundation, what really unites them in a pleasant friendship? Well, it's primarily that they have good times together. They experience fun and some kind of pleasure from being together and doing things together. And so that's another form of friendship.
Okay.
We can probably all think of friends that we have. I had a friend that I played a lot of hockey with. We did street hockey. We get together and play NHL, the video game. And, basically hockey was the thing. We both loved, both from Minnesota. And I kind of had met him.
Was street hockey like roller hockey or like?
No, that's roller hockey. Street hockey is like you get out on the ice rink, and a lot of them are just kind of concrete, smooth concrete when there's no ice on them. Okay. So you can just have the nets and use like a ball or like a lighter plastic puck that slides.
And then
around.
You're just in like shoes or boots?
Yeah, just shoes and run around in your shorts. Like we'd take our shirts off in 90-degree heat and, be passing around this floor hockey. It's like floor hockey basically.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't on the street. We played on a nice like rink with. Anyways, but yeah, we're just running around in shoes. So floor hockey essentially. And we did, I would hang out with him all the time and we did all these things together. And everything we talked about was hockey or was hockey related. But I just remember when I graduated high school and I moved moved away, moved out of Minnesota. I
Mhm.
was traveling for a little bit for a couple years. We didn't really see each other. I only really texted him about getting together, or I texted him about hockey, or I'd see a great play and we'd text him, or
Yeah.
video. Oh, dude, check out this highlight. But I didn't really have time for that. I didn't really watch a lot of sports, and I didn't really talk to him. I didn't really send him anything. Didn't really hear from him, and kind of the idea there is that our friendship was rooted in a pleasant friendship of fun,
Mhm.
of common interest.
Yeah.
But when that common interest kind of, or our time together ended, so did the friendship.
Yeah.
Kind of just fizzled out. And
Uh-huh.
I'm sure if I saw him, we could talk about hockey. It'd be fun. But there's really no. That's the depth of the bond. That's as
Mhm.
deep as the bond is. Is just that we had one common interest.
Yeah.
So we're definitely friends, but it doesn't go very
Mhm.
deep. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, because isn't there? This might be kind of a trail, but I've heard of like having friendships of like a proximity where they're just kind of around. Because like I can think of I had a friend in high school and we were in like study hall together, and instead of studying in a study hall like one usually does, but I mean we're high school
course.
boys, so what do? Well, I went to a Catholic high school,
Mm-hmm.
so we instead of doing our homework in study hall, we quote unquote went to the bathroom, but our school was connected to a convent, which there were no nuns in at the time, but I think they used it mostly in fact I know they used it mostly for storage. Why? Because we would go to the bathroom and then we'd just sneak off into the convent and be like, what's in here? We need to know.
Oh, teacher, can I use the restroom? Yeah.
Like
what's up here?
That's like
Ooh.
if multiple people leave to go to the bathroom at the same time, mischief is happening. That's just like kind of
Yeah.
guaranteed in high school. But
Oh,
it was so funny
100%.
because we were like, oh, this is why did they store this in here? Oh, is this like Christmas decorations? Oh, when is this? And then I remember like very distinctly we were like, because it's like a convent is like
Yeah.
hallways, and then there's like lots of little like rooms where like the nuns would stay off the side, and they stored a lot of different stuff in these rooms. But I think we heard someone like coming probably to like go grab something from storage or something like that. And we're like,
Yeah.
quick, we can't be like we're gonna get so much trouble if we can't find out here.
Yeah.
And we like dived into side rooms and like it's like we have to be out of sight too. So we like went around this like tiny corner and like put our like leg behind furniture and was like up against the wall, like and just like spidering
Paced
ourselves against the wall,
like hiding behind
trying
a
not to
sliver
move.
of a shadow.
Yeah, or breathe. It's like can't make any sound.
Oh my gosh.
But like, it's just
One
like,
guy's like, and you're like, quiet, shut up. You're gonna get us killed. You're gonna get us in trouble.
yeah. So that was definitely like
It's like something out of like
Yeah.
like a mystery murder movie,
Yeah.
It's like this is okay. Anyways,
yeah, but pleasant stuff like that where you're just like, oh hey, why they go goof off
Yeah.
doing something that we're probably not supposed to be doing, but isn't actually really that bad.
right? It's so, and that is amazing. Good times, right?
Yeah.
So here's kind of the point here is, and I'm excited to tie this into. By the way, I'm excited to tie all this into what we've been talking about last podcast. But we'll get there. We'll save that for the end. So stay tuned for that. But Aristotle basically is talking about, well, while these useful and pleasant friendships, right? These utility based or fun based friendships they're a basic form of friendship.
Yeah.
They're a legitimate form, but it's very basic. And kind of the downfall here is they don't really represent friendship in the fullest sense. There's just kind of maybe one piece. He says, well, useful and pleasant friendships are the most fragile, or they are the most fragile, and they're least likely to stand the test of time because of this. When the mutual benefits, right, of the utility or the fun times no longer exist, there's nothing left to unite the two people. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like I said, when my hockey friend, when I moved away and we didn't do hockey things,
Yeah.
nothing to unite us anymore. Like he says, if Sam leaves the nail selling business to sell books, what will happen to his friendship with Bob now that he no longer sells nails? Right? Sam and Bob may still exchange some Christmas cards and emails once in a while, but since they're no longer in need to communicate regularly for these business transactions, the friendship's likely gonna fizzle out and dissolve, because the relationship is no longer mutually useful.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what it was all. That was what the friendship was
utility.
based on. Friendship utility. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Whereas the hockey that's pleasant because it's not necessarily like for work or I'm getting something useful out of this. It's just kind of fun.
Yep. Yeah. So what's the I guess this is important to think about. Like, okay, well, we still have a lot of friends like that. We still like to have fun. We still have work friends that whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's like, if we are talking about in the context of wanting to grow as men, right? Because that's what this is important. Is we put this in context of what we're thinking about as men that want to grow, right, Adam?
Yeah.
What comes to mind there for you? What do you see these two friendships maybe not going well, or what's lacking here, or what do you really want? I don't know. Feel free to
I think
get into anything.
A huge part of it is both those types of friendships with like utility and pleasant friendships. Seems like they're both very fleeting. Like they're very temporary.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, we do this kind of fun thing, and as long as you're doing that, fun thing, whether it's hockey or goofing off or like I have friends that I only played video games with, yeah. So I'm not really I don't really talk to them out. I haven't really talked to them outside of that and I haven't talked to them in a while because I haven't played video games in a while. So when you move on from that, like you just like the friendship kind of fizzles out because it was only like based on, oh, we do a fun thing, or, oh, I need to interact with you because of work.
Right.
Yeah. But like I don't think those friendships are necessarily like bad. Like,
right.
Like having,
not at all.
Having, but hopefully your friends are pleasant to be around and you have people that you like having fun with and doing the activities that you're doing.
Yep.
And yeah, you're going to have some work friends because everyone works with people and hopefully you get along with those people as well. But I think there's something that's like deeper goes beyond just like people that are pleasant and you work with.
Right. Because it's like, I just, when we think about friends or brothers or men, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking about. Other men, when we do these fun things or they're kind of useful to be around, it's like I just don't see those types of friends that I've had. Like, I don't look at this guy that we played hockey with. I don't really see those as the guys pushing me forward in life.
Yeah.
I don't really see those as the guys getting to know me deeper and wanting to like encourage me. Right. Like, that's not the guy I'm calling it, like what Peter said on the podcast once. That's not the guy that is I'm calling or he's calling me at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
When I'm in need, or like when I need someone to back me up,
Unless doing stuff at 3 a.m. is your fun thing, but
right. 3 a.m. workouts. And I think that's important to think about is here's the question. Like, I'm not coming out and saying like, Adam, like you need to get better friends, or the friends you have are bad, or like you're putting time into like, I'm not saying that. And
friendship and utility and pleasant friendships are like, they're not like bad.
Still good,
Yeah.
But I do want to ask the question of like, are these the guys that are going to get you there? Are these the guys that are going to get you to, help you push forward in your business, help push forward in your marriage, help you get married? Are they going to, whatever it is, are they going to help you become a dangerous man? Are they going to be dangerous men alongside you?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what gets into the third type of friendship, or the form that Aristotle says. And we'll kind of wrap up on this note. We'll discuss this and we'll kind of wrap up on this note. But he calls it virtuous friendship.
Mm.
And you might hear that and think about, when he says virtue, we're talking like vice, right? Kind of the bad things that drag us down in life, or bad habits. You must think of a vice, or virtues are kind of like the good character, or I don't know how you would define that, Adam, but
I think virtue is more about like you having a disposition for like good things. So it's not necessarily like the action. It's kind of like your state in which you are being. if that makes sense.
So kind of who you are as a person.
It's kind of who you are. And it's it's almost like a character quality. And I think Aristotle does define it a little bit better than that. I believe that's a definition of virtue that he puts forth.
Yeah, actually, I have it up here. He kind of says, two friends, they're united not in self-interest, but in the pursuit of a common goal or common good. It's like, and that is found in like virtue, these good things, these good ways of living.
Yeah.
And so, he talks about like really the problem with these useful and pleasant friendships is that the emphasis on the friendships are what I get out of the relationship. Right?
Mhm.
What kind of fun times can I have? What kind of pleasure can I experience here? What do I get out of this? The utility, what best good deal do I get by being friends? What do I get? And he says, the virtuous friendship, however, it's two friends that are committed to pursuing something outside themselves, something bigger than them, something, it's two friends, a goal that goes beyond their own self-interest. And so, yeah, that's kind of, it's not focused on what I get. It's focused on, what's best for the friend you're with, what's best in their life.
Yeah.
And I do want to key in on two people instead of looking at what do I get? And that's the question we ask. Okay, I want to have fun today. What am I going to have? Or how am I going to have fun today? And like, we're starting to turn and go, okay, me and Adam standing shoulder to shoulder, right? Because I believe we have a very virtuous friendship in this Aristotle sense, Adam.
Yes.
Of you and I have common goals, common missions, common purpose. And some of that is individual, but we're pursuing it kind of together, supporting each other. There's like a function of like a team there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something too, like we've been on sports teams, maybe most all of us, or some sort of team. And something was deeper there than we felt kind of more focus, more mission,
And like me and John have been on like sports teams and stuff too. I remember us playing like T-ball and absolutely dominating everybody.
We were actually undefeated.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No, I think we tied once.
Did we?
I think we might have tied once, but all the other games we just absolutely dominated.
We were just beasts, dude.
Yeah, I remember. I think didn't we not score by like runs? We scored by outs.
Yep.
And like the other team would just go through their entire batting order because like we're like I don't know 7 or something.
Yeah.
And so like they just wanted all the kids to be able to actually like hit the ball off the tee because it's T-ball and we're all not very coordinated. I think it was like we had the red shirts. I think we were like the Cubs or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was like you, me, your brother, a couple other friends that we knew, and we were just like, let's go. And we just like,
oh my gosh.
Like I think there's like one inning because like obviously you score by outs, and when you're 7, you're terrible at fielding stuff. There's so many balls that went through between my legs trying to play that because I was like, I'm just super uncoordinated. But I think we scored like
get like every single kid out.
Yeah,
they go through their whole batting order. We get them all out. We'd win like 30 something to like 2. Like
it was stupid.
Or not 2. Obviously we just rotate, but like the only reason we'd switch teams with batting is because we went through our whole lineup, not because they got 3 outs on us.
Yeah, like we would sometimes. I think we'd sometimes go through the entire lineup and without them getting like maybe they get like 1 or 2 outs.
Yeah.
Even though we went through like 15 people. And this is T-ball, so we're like not very good at hitting or running or anything.
Somehow, but apparently we were somehow. We were very good.
Way better than everyone else.
Yeah, maybe that's all we needed, but but I think that's something we want to kind of end on is when we have a common focus and a common purpose, a common goal, and we can kind of stand shoulder to shoulder pursuing that with another person, especially another man, another brother, that is where we're going to find a much, Aristotle talks about it being such a deeper foundation, and it's going to stand the test of time. You're going to have friends like Adam and I, Peter, Danny, all been on the podcast. I've been friends with these guys since I've been in diapers. Mm-hmm. And we talk about like, okay, the 5 people we spend the most time around or who you become.
Mm-hmm.
And something that Adam's continued to say, which has blown me away, is like, or what do you need to do to become that for the people already in your life?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool as we're all doing it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty profound. But you might not have friends that are doing that. And I think we want to kind of get into that a little bit more next week. But like, you know, I'm just saying, you got to find the guys that are going to go there.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to look at, I think, you know, this is my opinion, but are these guys that I have a virtuous friendship with? Because I don't know if I'm going to, I can get things out of a friendship. I can have fun with people, but like, is our main thing that we're going after something together?
Yeah.
And I think that's what, that's the question I want to
like, do you have like a guy that's like, or preferably like up to like, 5 guys or more, maybe that go eat burgers with you or something. No. But that have that shared purpose
It's
and
like,
goal,
you know me, Adam.
and like mission, but also will like talk to you like good to other people. But also could, can goof off with you and whatnot. Like virtuous friendships, like it's not like a virtuous friendship isn't like not a pleasant friendship.
Right.
I think like utility and like pleasantry is like a different depth of friendship. Like probably virtuous friendships, if you're meeting somebody or like, cause like me and John have known each other for like ever.
Right.
Like I don't remember meeting John. But if you do meet someone, it probably starts off as like a friendship of potentially a friendship of utility or pleasantry.
Totally.
But it based off of your goals and your purposes and how you interact with each other, it can grow into a virtuous friendship where you're actually kind of going after stuff and also wanting each other to become better.
Right. Yeah, because you're not necessarily going to walk into like somewhere and be like, all right, are these guys like fired up and going hard? Like maybe you would. That's okay. But it might start with a little bit more of a common interest and you start talking and realize that there's something deeper there. You start to build that foundation there.
You might have to, might take a couple beers around a campfire to realize that this could become a virtuous friendship. But
yeah, absolutely. It's so. But yeah, I think we're a little short on time today. So I do think we're going to dive this would be good to listen to and kind of a part 2 next week. Yeah. We're going to use some of these ideas and we're going to have maybe a bit more stories and conversation and thought bubble on some of the questions I posed today. Yeah. So sorry if I didn't get to answer all of that, but to be continued. So
absolutely. So 3 types of friendships. All of them are good, but we're looking for the virtuous ones. Get out there, go talk to people, build your life, and stay dangerous.
Share the show if you want to help other men embrace danger and become truly great. You've been listening to The Dangerous Man. Join us next time. Until then,
claim your greatness
and stay dangerous.